Hi, my loves. It's Elizabeth, Countess of Low Carb. Happy weekly Wednesday encouragement email. I'm getting ready to hop out to an appointment and my earring is jaunty. And I've got today for you some exciting stuff. So in our newsletter, I've got meal plan for the week, good fats. I made a mistake on what I ordered from Costco for my Costco haul that wasn't so good. And then a keto day of eating, just an example of what I do with intermittent fasting laced in with keto, right? So I love me some intermittent fasting along with keto. But today's video I want to talk about, and this video is exclusively only for our weekly Wednesday encouragement email. So if you have somebody who's on keto or is joining you on the keto, make sure you share this with them to have them sign up for our encouragement email. Just go to countessoflowcarb.com and they can hit the subscribe email button and fill out their information, hit the confirm button, and they can get this email themselves. But let's dive into the content. So what I wanted to share with you is I've gotten so many questions on social situations. What do I do when I'm in a social situation of where I'm going to someone's house or I'm going out to dinner with friends while staying on keto? I'll tackle the first one first. That's easy. The first one first that is easiest, and that is if I'm meeting girlfriends out for, say, like a girls' night dinner or something like that, we'll offer up a suggestion to that friend, say, hey, can we meet at a steakhouse? Or hey, can we just meet for coffee, right? So if it's during my fasting times, if I know it's earlier in the morning, I'm probably fasting before noon. So if it's like 11 o'clock appointment, I'll usually say, hey, can we just meet at Starbucks? And that way I can get some iced coffee or a hot mint tea, just something along those lines that doesn't break my fast. Nothing with sweetener in it, just straight up good old fashioned Dr. Fung, lovely things that he suggests. If it's, say, for like a dinner appointment or whatever, I will totally be like where I meet my agent, my TV agent every single week, Longhorn. I'm like, can we go to Longhorn? Right? I'm not going to roll up to Five Guys for like a business meeting, but Longhorn's like totally acceptable, right? And if Ruth Chris served steak during the day, I would be all over that too. I love me a steakhouse for a business meeting, right? Like that's a great place just to do business and also to maintain the keto way of life. It's super easy at a steakhouse, right? Or Outback or something like that, So those are suggestions in social situations. But if you are going to someone's home, a couple of things I would like to suggest. One is I have mind-effery problems. I've talked about this in other videos of where, sorry, it's dark in here. Get some light up in here. Get some light up in here. I have mind problems of where, like, if I see, say, cupcakes or brownies or nachos or some other, like, trigger food for me, and that light's making me nuts. If I see those, that sets me up for failure if I'm trying to fast. For me, if I try to go to these social situations, I would say, hey, can you fast? For me, that does not work. Like if I'm in a social situation, like a party at someone's house, like a dinner party or something like that, or I'm going to a friend's barbecue, I do not do well knowing myself, like know that to thy own self be true, know yourself well enough to have some self-awareness. My self-awareness is such that I know I will not succeed on a fast. If I'm going to a dinner party or a friend's house for dinner or something like that, I just can't. So what I do is I punt and hedge the deck for myself is I bring what I want to eat, right? And sometimes I'll tell people in advance, like, hey, I'm going to be bringing my own stuff. And if that's applicable, you know what I mean? If it's not applicable, say it's just like a potluck type thing, then I'll just bring some pepperoni rolls, some olives, although I don't really like olives, but I'm trying to like olives, or some cheeses. A cheese platter is great. Or even like some hamburger sliders and literally just like the meat in a stick, you know what I mean? Like, and you can make it cutesy where you could put the buttons on the side, but it's like make yourself own like your sliders. That's a good one to do. What else have I done? Shrimp platters are great. Crudité is awesome. Just having some celery, some cucumbers, some good like keto vegetables, some asparagus that's cooked or like grilled asparagus with butter on top. Or I've brought scallops before and had like butter on the side. That went over really, really well. But you can even do it like it doesn't have to be expensive like that either, right? Like you could literally roll up with some tuna and make like a tuna dip. Like that's not expensive, and you can make a great tuna dip. So it's kind of stinky, but you could still make something really cute out of it. So it's just being a little bit more creative and stacking the deck for yourself, right? Like I stack the deck for myself, either bringing it myself, the known self be true of knowing that I'm probably not going to make it for a fast. So I plan my fasting time to break my fast there or just break it right before I go, because that's my other thing for social situations. The worst was when I first started fasting and I had done something like, I don't know, like my first 36-hour fast, and I was ravenous. I really wasn't. It was like the mind, you know what I mean? Like once you get into fasting, you know that it's all a mental thing. It was the mental thing that I was starving, and so I had to meet somebody, and I felt like I was like a dog in a bowl. like just crazy eating, and I probably was. I don't know. Again, it was a mental thing. I would encourage you, if you're hitting a new height with the fasting, if maybe breaking your fast before then. So then when you go there, like you can just nibble on a few things, right? Like, because here's the bottom line is life is meant to be enjoyed, but there's balance in all of this, right? Like when we start having our holiday conversation with Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah and things like that, that time of year, the holiday season of where food becomes a central point, we're going to talk about how we structure this of like life and like living life, but also having the balance of, you know, eating keto and being responsible and healthful for our bodies and respecting our bodies. So that stack the deck in your favor. Do what you feel is best for you. If you're going to a dinner party, just simply tell the host or hostess, hey, I'm so excited to be with you. I'm on this special dietary restriction thing. It's called keto. I have certain things I can and can't eat, so I'm going to bring my own plate. I hope you don't take offense. Is there an appetizer I can bring or some wine I can bring for the group? You know what I mean? Like offer to bring something else, but let the host know in advance if you're comfortable with the host or hostess. I went recently to a party where I didn't know the hostess at all. If I had done that, it would have been weird. You know what I mean? So I just ate before I left. And then when I went there, I made sure I had a ton of Pellegrino. They had sparkling water. And so, or like, you know, some just regular water. And I focused in on that. And then right as I left, I knew right as I was leaving, I would go to Five Guys and eat something. You know what I mean? So there's like mind tricks you can play. Also, the other final thing that I have is being intentional with relationships. Right? Isn't that like the whole thing? Like, isn't that the whole thing with life, of being intentional with our relationships and really just focusing and being present with them as opposed to the food? So those are some of my suggestions in social situations. If you have more social situation questions, shoot me back an email. I can do it in the next Wednesday weekly encouragement email. I hope that you found this great, and I would love it if you haven't gone to our Facebook page or my YouTube account. Make sure you subscribe to one of those two things. I'm branching out, of course, with Instagram and some other social media, but YouTube is my jam. I post almost every day or every other day on YouTube for awesome keto and keto, intermittent fasting, and weight loss content. Love you guys. Cheering you on for success. Bye.